Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Markia Armani, your business big sister, and this channel is going to be everything about business. From starting the business, finding the products, marketing, finance. I am going to give you the inside scoop on things that I have been learning and testing and being consistent with from over the past 8 years. So let's get into today's video. Transitioning into entrepreneurship is nothing easy. So the first video that we're going to start with for this series is going to be about 4 mindset shifts that you have to make. All right, this is for you and for you only. This is the inner work that you need to do before you jump into entrepreneurship, because I'm going to tell you right now, it is not easy, but it is definitely worth it, and it can be done. Because transitioning into entrepreneurship is not about just starting the business. It's about becoming a completely different version of yourself in order for you to accept God's calling and do what it is that you need to do. So let's get into these 4 mindset shifts. First of all, before we get into these mindset shifts, I do not want you to think of this as a motivational piece. I want you to think about this as the inner work that you need to be doing before you get ready to take this, because this is a big responsibility and you have to be ready for everything that is thrown at your way. So the first mindset shift that you need to focus on is having faith and dreaming big, sis. Okay? I say dreaming big because I am here for entrepreneurs and women starting businesses, but I really want us to think different when it comes to the business that we're going to be creating. All right, my channel specifically, I'm going to be focusing on teaching you how to source, find products, start the business from scratch, and do different things. You can also start service businesses. I've done them all. I've invested into real estate, I have sold hair, I have made wigs, I've done lashes, and you can see like a lot of these things are in the beauty industry because that's just something that I hold near and dear to my heart. But having faith literally requires you to dream big. And I'm not just talking about having the type of faith to start the business. That is literally one thing, but I'm talking about what it looks like when you are getting out of your comfort zone, what it looks like when you are investing money into your business, and also showing up for yourself when no one is paying attention. You literally have to have the faith, crazy faith, that this thing is going to work out no matter what. So when it comes to having faith, like for instance, for me, faith looked like a lot of things. When I started my first business, it was really like not on faith. It was more so on like, oh, I think this thing is cool. Hair business. I've just been an entrepreneur all around since little girl. Been studying business. Like, this is long overdue for me to really just, take this more serious than I've already have. But having faith for me looked like going to college, getting 2 degrees, and then coming out and not working a corporate job because I felt like I was called to entrepreneurship. That was having faith. That was having faith working, building my business, and not having a regular income like everyone else. So having faith for you might look a little bit different than someone else's or different from my story. But I want you to understand that if you're going to pursue this thing, have the faith, be delusional, and know that it is going to work out. And faith is consistent. This is literally going to be something that is going to pull you closer and build your relationship with God. This is not something that you can do on your own. This is something that you need to include God in everything that you do, and your faith needs to be to the sky. And I want you to dream big. Going back to in the beginning when I said about the different businesses, really truly figure out what it is that you want to do, figure out what that is and reach the sky. Touch the sky with it. Our next mindset shift that you need to understand and focus on is everyone won't support you, all right? Meaning you need to find your community that does. A lot of us start this business, and I did too. We start a business and we think like, oh, my friends, my family, oh, I know that this business is going to be successful because my friends and my family are going to sell me out. Then when you launch, they don't. But you have to understand that your friends and your family are not your target audience, okay? Whatever business it is that you are creating, You're not creating it for your friends and your family to buy it. You are creating this brand and this business to be something global that the millions of people in the world will buy and buy into you. That is why you have to find your community. You have to build a brand for the audience that is attracted to that product. When you build that community, you will understand that your product will fly off shelves because you are building a community and building a product specifically for a specific person, which are the people in your community, to sell you out, okay? So don't get discouraged when you launch and your family isn't supporting you and you're, making the little slick comments. Like, don't even get too far into that. You need to have tunnel vision, and you need to just understand, like, hey, I'm creating this business and I'm not expecting y'all to show up for me because there are strangers out there that will. So make sure you make that mindset shift before you start this business, that everyone that you love and hold near and dear to your heart will not support you the way that you think they will, okay? That is just the harsh reality, but that does not mean that you won't be successful. All right, so our third mindset shift is consistency is key. And I know that you hear this a lot. I'm gonna be real. Consistency is the one thing that is gonna make your business stand out from the next one, okay? Because consistency looks like taking one step and putting it in front of the other every time. And every time you take a step, every time you are getting better and better at your business is growing, okay? And I also want you to understand that your business may not blow overnight. Social media, bro, and this is just being a real big sister and just really talking to you today on this YouTube channel. Social media has made it seem like with showing the inside of people's lives, people only show the glitz, the glamour. They show you the Benzes, they show you the sky rises, they show you where they are now, but they don't show you where they were when they were in your position, when they decided to take the risk, when they decided to change their situation and get out of their comfort zone. That may have started almost 10 years ago. One reason why I don't compare my journey or my entrepreneurship journey to anyone else's is because I will look at entrepreneurs who I admire and I look at their journey and they're celebrating their 10th year anniversary. 10 years, sis. If you look at a Ming Lee, even if you look at a Jada, Ming Lee, they have been building their brand presence way before where they are now in 2026. It may not have been the specific business that they're in now. They may have had to pivot, but it took them some time to get where they are. So I want you to take that pressure off yourself and understand that when you launch this business, you may not have 1,000 sales. You may, if you continue to watch my videos, but you may not reach where you want to be. This is something that you're learning and doing for the first time. And you need to understand that, okay, sis, like, yeah, you're right. This is going to take time, but I'm going to continue to be consistent and I'm going to continue to build my business because I know that one day I am going to grow. Even with myself, like I told y'all, since high school, I graduated high school in 2017. Baby, I was learning about how to drop ship wigs. I was on YouTube, as you are right now, reading, buying books from people who are further along in their career now. Started my wig business, started sourcing vendors, pivoted from wigs to lashes, had a successful lash business all throughout my years in college with the suite, reaching my first 10K before I even hit 21. Like, I did that because I was consistent. And now I have pivoted from lashes into marketing because I have been able to build my brands, build other people's brands, and I've learned what works and what doesn't work. So now I'm able to do it on a larger scale and really help people take their business from 0 to 100. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, that takes time. But this business, this journey of entrepreneurship, it started back in 2017. It's now 2026, sis. So I want you to understand, don't compare your journey to anybody else's and stay consistent because consistency is really key. Like, and not even just consistency in continuing to do your business. Be consistent in when you start this business. Be consistent in your brand colors. Be consistent in the audience that you're going to target. Be consistent in what your background looks like. Be consistent in how you show up on social media because I've learned with not being consistent a lot. I've been consistent in time, but I haven't been consistent in growing my brand or my personal brand as I should have been. And I've learned that when you're not consistent and you don't show up for your audience will fall off. And that's what you don't want. You want a person to find you, and you want them to grow with their journey. So here we are with the new journey, and I hope you guys are growing with me. The last mindset shift, this one is really, really important because this is something that I struggle with. Accept the calling, okay? And when I say the calling, if you truly feel like God has called you to entrepreneurship, because I'm gonna be real, in this day and age, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, everybody wants to be an influencer, everybody wants to be a content creator. And not knocking anyone, but there are specific people who are called to this path in life, and you will know it. You will truly know it, right? So accept the calling the first time. Don't double back. Don't have doubt. Don't stop. Don't be tempted. Don't compare yourself. If God called you to this, accept the calling, because it's going to be so much easier when you just accept the calling the first time and you keep pushing it, because there's a reason why you are being called to entrepreneurship. There's a reason why you're being called to start a business, okay? And I want you to accept it the first time, because that was a mistake that I made. I felt like when I finally quit my job, of course, everything is a part of the journey, but I feel like when I finally quit my job in 2024, and I was like, I'm gonna do this full time, I feel like my business did so good. I did and this is my marketing business. I accepted the calling to close my last business, didn't look back, and quit my job. My marketing agency did so good. I did 8 campaigns, 1 event that year, and every year I start out I'm gonna focus on my marketing agency every year. And the first half of the year I start out strong, but during the year sometimes I get a little shaky, I get a little tempted, I get a little doubtful, and that's when I feel like my business starts to just become super duper slow. So accept the calling. If you're gonna start a business, stay consistent with it. Focus on that one thing. And I want you to understand that if you are called to entrepreneurship, you're not going to be called to one business. You may be called to multiple businesses. You may be a multifaceted person, and that's okay, baby, because we're going to get them coins and we're going to have multiple streams of income. But make sure you focus on one thing at a time, and then when that business is running smoothly and reaching the heights that you wanted to reach, then move on to the next one, okay? And make sure that you give back. There's a reason why you are called to do entrepreneurship, okay? And that's where I am now. So if you are watching this video, I really want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. This is where I will be hosting all my gems, because that's how I learned how to become an entrepreneur. I got on YouTube and I did the research. So I want to make sure that the resources are there for you. So again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all platforms at Marquia R Money, TikTok at Marquia R Money 1. And I can't wait to see you next Sunday. See you.